Not many people get a chance to take, well, a winter vacation. Most people, if they do, get a chance to go somewhere warm. But in this case, a Sudbury man and a friend of mine has ventured south, way down south to Antarctica, back after a couple of weeks away from Sudbury. Randy Stevens. Randy, welcome.
Thank you, Rick.
That's quite the trip. So a lot of people that I've talked to recently wonder why. Why Antarctica?
I've wanted to go to Antarctica ever since I was 10, since I read about Sir Ernest Shackleton. So I did it.
And you mentioned something about realizing your dreams, which I think is very important too.
Yeah, I never want to give up on my dreams, and so I thought this was the time to do it. So that's what I did.
A lot of people seem to think that it's an incredible venture for you to be making, considering not only the cost, but the distance. What do you say to them?
If you want to go on a trip, do whatever it takes. You can't take the money with you.
I like that. I like that a lot. So Randy, let's talk about the trip itself. What impressed you the most about Antarctica? A lot of people have never been there. They think of ice, snow, and polar bears. No polar bears, but penguins, seals, and other wildlife. What impressed you the most?
There's endless amount of sceneries that's beautiful, and I saw various types of seals, birds, and it's just an incredible place to be. We had wicked weather that was beautiful and warm.
So tell me more about the weather, because it's the summertime temperature and conditions in Antarctica. So how did that translate into what we know in terms of conditions?
I thought it was nice. I was on the bow with a short sleeve shirt, and it was maybe 3 or 4 degrees, or maybe 2 or 1, but it was still nice.
Okay, but Canadians normally adjust to whatever temperature they encounter whenever they're on a holiday. You also took a polar plunge or a polar dip. You were tethered, but the water temperatures was what, 1.5 degrees?
Yes, the water temperature was 1.5. It didn't feel cold, maybe because of the adrenaline, and I got a certificate to prove that I actually did it.
Okay, talking about paper and certificates, you were in a submersible sub. How deep did you go?
The first dive, I did 270 feet with 6 people in it, as well as a pilot. Then the second one was 520 feet, 3 feet from the ocean floor.
What did you see?
I saw sea anemones, a kelp chain, some sort of starfish, and some type of octopus also.
Was there anything that surprised you the most about your venture? Like you talked about the scenery before, about how magnificent it was. How do you even begin to compare the scenery from another continent to what you've already seen in your lifetime?
Good question. There's a boundless amounts of scenery that looks the same, but it's just so beautiful. It's hard to put into words unless you're actually there.
Okay. Yeah. Was there anything that disappointed you or that you thought was kind of weird or odd about your trip?
Nothing. Everything was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. There was nothing bad about it, except I have one regret. I didn't go on an ice floe when I had a chance.
Okay. And what was the reasoning behind that?
I was out on the bow seeing 4 emperor penguins that shouldn't have been where we were, so far south, and we're out there for an hour and a half, so I was cold, so I was taking a warm shower.
Okay. Any advice that you'd give to someone who may want to experience what you experienced?
If you go on a Antarctica trip, go with the company Seabourn, because it's a 5-star hotel, and their itinerary goes further south than any other cruise ship. That's why I used them.
Okay, Randy, you're a world traveler. You were in Mexico in November, you were in Florida in December, Antarctica in January. What's your next trip?
I'd like to go Seabourn also. They do a Northwest Passage trip. I'd like to see the 4 headstones from the Franklin expedition.
Thanks for doing this, and good luck on your future expeditions.
Thank you, Rick.
Randy Stevens, one of a few who managed to go to Antarctica. Interesting, well, place to visit at any time, but particularly January, probably the best.